Welcome. In front of me I have the OPPO Pad SE, and today I'll be going over unboxing and a quick look at the device and also its specifications. So let's just get straight into this. Now this is what looks to be a budget device actually. So let's take a look. Do have pull tabs which actually work. I'd love to see those. And popping it open, have the device. Oh wait, I can just slide it out. There we go. Come on. If I can get the camera over that. So here it is. The back looks budget, which you would expect. I'm gonna set it to the side and take a look at what's also in here. Paperwork and a Type-C charger, and that's about it. So nothing special in terms of packaging. Now grabbing the device, we can boot it up. So this device comes with an 11-inch display with a resolution of 1200 by 1920, which is actually pretty good. IPS LCD with 90 Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 500 nits. It also boasts 82.7% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of 206 pixels per inch. Now for media consumption, this might not be the best screen that you can probably imagine, as LCD IPS isn't necessarily the best at, for instance, reproducing great contrast ratios, black and just colors in general, when you compare to something like an AMOLED display, which is much more vibrant and has these perfect black levels. But like I mentioned, this is a budget device, and I just want to double check if the price is actually correct. Not so much. So GSM Arena, wait, is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, so yeah, GSM Arena has it labeled as a €110 device. It's more like €220, $250 price tag device. So it's a little bit more expensive than I would have expected for the brand, and something that is also labeled as SE, and comes with a comes with an IPS LCD at 90 Hz refresh rate display. Yikes! That is they're really charging you for nothing here. Holy hell! So anyway, let's go over the rest of the specifications. So apart from the display at the back, we have a single camera setup, and it looks absolutely tiny. That houses a 5 megapixel wide sensor with 2.2 aperture. That does 1080p 30 frames, and then we have a 5 megapixel same thing at the front with the same kind of refresh rates and video resolutions, which means pitiful. So obviously cameras here, it's a tablet, so I'm not really going to harp on that too much. It's what you would expect. I would say differently. I would expect the cameras to be better, considering nothing else is. Now, the battery in here is a pretty decent size at 9,340 milliamps. That can be charged also pretty decently fast, all things considered, at 33 watts, which is basically what Samsung almost considers as their like peak of charging. Other than that, we have starting from 4 gigabytes of RAM, that you can get up to 8 gigabytes of it, and 128 gigs of storage up to 256, UFS 2.2 storage type. Now continuing on with the processor, we have the Helio G100 powering this device, and that's basically all to it. It's not necessarily the best device for the price. Let me quickly check one thing. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to check one device, which I'm going to mention if I'm correct. So, come on, search. Okay. Doesn't seem to be correct. So I was looking at the Samsung Galaxy Tab 8. For some reason I'm only seeing S8 Pluses, which takes away from my devious idea of buying that instead of something like this. Check one more place as a second hand. What is the price tag here that we're looking at? Also at like 500. So basically double the price, so not really a feasible idea. Although these are ultras. Where is just a normal one? Oh no, never mind, there it is, that's a feasible idea. So you can get the Galaxy Tab S8 with 8 GB of RAM and 120 GB of storage for about $300. Now it is a second hand, I want to point that out if you don't mind that, but I'm pointing that out because these two devices are in completely different realms. So this is basically what you consider living on a street like a shit, while what you are buying is basically just in comparison gold. So the Samsung S8 is going to completely crap all over this device in every single aspect, with speed, displays, cameras, the fact that it comes with a stylus, and so on. Has a better screen tech, as it's an AMOLED display, with a higher refresh rate, so it's going to be better in every single conceivable way, for about the same price. So I would recommend not really picking up this, as the price for this is just absolutely insulting for what they are offering. You can get much better options second hand, and even if you're looking for new devices, you still can get better devices at better or about the same price tag as this one. Now, personally, I don't really recall the tablets from the top of my head like I do phones, so I can't really spit one out, but let's quickly check just as a comparison. I'm pretty sure I checked out something like Glass Pad. I don't recall if this had that great of a specifications. Okay, no, never mind, this wasn't it. I'm pretty sure Xiaomi, OnePlus does have some pads, but they're not that great for the price, similar to what we have right here. But like I said, the second-hand market for Samsung devices is pretty freaking good. So if you don't go with the newest one, which is like S11 or S11 SE, I believe, also, or FE, whatever they have right now, you can get a insanely good device just from a year ago at really good price tag. And obviously nothing really that is considered budget like this, or even mid-range, will ever be able to compete with like used market. So I highly recommend checking that out, as it's a fantastic thing. Just make sure that obviously the device isn't locked. So do a reset right away, check if it has a lock, and if not, just return it. So yeah. Anyway, with that out of the way, hopefully you found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.